ladies and gentlemen.
Western Mass Comedy Group.
All right, and I have hit record.
Oh no!
All right. Well, no, we're recording and we're not quite ready. It's okay. We all know that Ryan Arnold is part of this. He's off to the side right now. We got Jason Gallagher, and we got my brother Max Pryor, and I'm Ezra Pryor. And welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group.
Boop.
No!
The loop you Snoop.
These guys fuck it up on purpose. Welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop. Boop.
Boop. We got it.
I don't know if they're fucking with me or they're just, they're just not ready for three-person hip hop.
I think you guys nailed it.
I think so too.
Thank you.
Fluid.
Oh, we did.
Nice to be appreciated.
You want to toss in a boop, Max? There we go. All right, boop, boop, boop.
I'll put that in post. I'll edit it into the intro part.
Add as many boops as you'll do. Yeah, you get really musical with it. Yeah, so this is my brother. Gonna claim this is my brother Max Pryor. He's a physician's aide, one of the first responders on the front line, as they say about healthcare workers. I know that it's been publicized a lot. The media has made it kind of difficult with their kind of phraseology of saying stuff like frontline responders. And I just want to ask you, how has it made your hard job more difficult because of media influence?
The frontline language?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Well,
yeah, that was...
Yeah, go ahead.
Because, it was... That made it... I mean, that was sort of more of a nuisance early on. I guess that rhetoric is still floating around, frontline, hero, military metaphors. That bothered me because it felt like like it was something that was just sort of being exploited by hawkish folks like Trump, who would liken this to a war when it's really more like like a forest fire. It's not like a group of, it's not an armed conflict that we're in, and I can't see the enemy. I'm just treating people. Granted, I'm not actually, I'm not somebody who is treating, raging COVID infections in the ICU. I was exposed to people with COVID concern who'd come into the clinic with coughs and things like that. And it was stressful. It didn't feel like what I imagined being on the front lines of a war would feel like. I don't think the analogy really holds. I think it just distracts and serves to romanticize, and I don't know. That was what was really bugging me back in March when Trump was talking about total war and the invisible enemy. It's not really been on the forefront of my mind as much lately. Things have quieted down a little bit.
That's good. So yeah, you felt like when he uses language like that, it's just part of his general rhetoric as president is to kind of exaggerate things, and that I imagine it might get annoying because then people don't know if the media is even exaggerating about COVID. Like, do you get any people you have to actually explain how COVID works to that come in?
Yeah, fortunately, my appointments, the patients who make and keep appointments with me tend to be the kinds of patients who would believe, who believe in science and would trust in what Dr. Fauci is saying. So I'm not having to disabuse a lot of misinformed notions. I don't think the patients that I see are representative of like the U.S. population at large. So no, people come with questions and they're receptive to the answers. By and large, I'm not having to undo a lot of damage done by the media. The local news media is more helpful than not, I think. Helps me stay informed. I don't know.
Do you check Do you check the case counts, like the daily case counts? Like, do you have a theory about if case counts have gone up are going to keep going up or level off or anything like that?
Oh, it's going to get worse almost surely. I mean, we're seeing that already. It was my impression was that there were more and more COVID concerning, symptoms, presentations concerning for COVID starting like 2 weeks ago. It seemed more marked to me. I mean, there's confirmed cases. It's rising. Springfield is a red zone. I think even Amherst, East Long Meadow, it's ticking up.
Holyoke.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a foregone conclusion. And these things usually get worse in the winter because the cold weather drives people indoors.
So how do you see that playing out? Do you see like absolute? I'm not trying to stoke fear, but do you think cases will go up all at once at some point so that there aren't enough hospital rooms? Like we're just waiting for, like so far it's been like 700 a day has ticked up from it was only 200 to 300 a day for a month. Do you think like there's a latent period which everyone's catching it but not knowing it, so suddenly there might be a ton of cases all at once as opposed to like a more steady rate we've been having?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors playing into the delay in reporting. I mean, there's the lag. There's the typical 5-day incubation period between exposure and when you actually show symptoms. There's people who never develop symptoms and can pass it along. So I think back when it first started, it was about the rule of thumb was like a 2-week. We have to really wait 2 weeks to get a picture of what's happening right now. But yeah, we could easily see a pretty bad surge. I mean, with flu season too, that could compound things, depending on whether people can get vaccinated in time. Because if you get COVID and the flu at the same time, that's a lot more dangerous.
Yeah. Why does it get worse during the winter?
So it was thought at one time that the viruses thrive in colder temperatures, which is it's true in some cases, but probably isn't why they tend to spread in the winter. The reason is that people, it gets cold, so people gather indoors and they're in closer contact with each other, breathing more of the same air. That's probably why.
You saying you ain't coming to my fireside party on November 5th?
I didn't know.
My indoor fireplace party? Yeah. I'm opening up a COVID hotspot. I'm opening up a COVID hotspot.
You're going to host a super spreader event?
When I was in Holyoke this summer, I remember, I don't know if you do, but suddenly you could hear people being more lax about gatherings. I spent a lot of time outside smoking on porches, so I suddenly heard like big parties happening all over the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I remember at that point being like, oh, okay, we're kind of screwed because everybody's just saying like, oh, I only hang out with friends and family, as if like that means you don't catch it from your friends and family.
Yeah, I do get a disturbing number of patients who come and say, oh, I know I don't have it. They'll have mild symptoms. I'm just like, dude, you can't know. You literally can't know until it's too late. And the tests are the tests are not good for ruling it out. The tests, if you get a negative test, it doesn't mean you don't have COVID. It's that if you get a positive.
I know that when Donald Trump got COVID, he said that he knows it, and so I'm wondering if there's like some kind of like data transfer that happens with COVID where it engages with like your neurocircular system and then tells you like almost like it's like a psychic handshake, because like that's the impression I got from Trump.
From Trump, yeah.
That's Trump though.
That's unique.
Just make it sound, yeah.
I mean, he's a very special man. He has a very special neurocircuitry. Yeah. He's in tune. He's like very in touch with himself and with the world around him. So that's special guy.
We're also glad he recovered from that so quickly, thanks to the help of steroids. That was funny. You must have just been high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. just getting high in tax, getting high on the tax dollars.
Straight
steroids
crazy
prescribed.
regimen that he got.
That's probably the most
Yeah, he's like Hitler.
self-destructive government action that's happened in a while since like the Civil War.
Yeah. Well, he could get reinfected, so we know that can happen now.
Oh, I was gonna ask that. So you can get reinfected?
Yeah, in some cases.
I'm so excited to hear this.
I know.
I don't just get to catch it once. I can possibly catch it again after.
Yeah, and it could be
sucks.
worse. It could be worse the second time. That's rare.
It's like flashbacks with LSD. That's
Yeah.
very rare.
COVID flashbacks.
Yeah.
Just start coughing suddenly and being like, oh, I remember.
So can you test negative for COVID and then have it like come back, and it's like it comes from like some dormant like strain of the virus, like, or do you have to catch it again in order to?
If we're calling it a reinfection, a new infection, then you have to have cleared the first one and then gotten a new one. Typically, the new one is genetically somewhat different from the one you had before. That's what they're seeing, is that there's been a little bit of genetic drift.
It evolves, right?
Yeah.
It's been evolving. It's super effective. Yeah. That's what's scary, because it's like you can't get immune to it because it's so sneaky. It's like, yeah, you caught me this time, but if I put 3 spikes over here where I only put 2 spikes last time.
What makes it
right
like that?
Just mistakes in the replication process. You know, they replicate very rapidly, and the chemistry is not always go off without a hitch. So there will be, bits of the RNA, the ribonucleic acid, that get transcribed incorrectly, and it takes just if you're doing it as rapidly, if you're replicating as rapidly as it happens in our own bodies too. I mean, it's just kind of entropy.
Or like a stray neutrino can like knock a codon out of your gene sequence as well.
That's right.
Happens every night to me. Those spare gene sequences just getting knocked off the shelf.
Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear it happening.
Doesn't that mean that, like, so if they're trying to make a vaccine and they're already kind of proven that it's really hard to get immunized to through the natural routes, it might be really hard to make a vaccine for as well? Right?
Say that again?
Okay, so if the virus is changing and they're showing that someone can get sick from the same virus twice because it's a little different the first time than the second, wouldn't that make it really hard to make a vaccine for?
Oh yeah. And that's the problem with the flu vaccine too, is they can make an educated guess on what it will look like, and whether the vaccine is not ever going to be 100%. It might be the kind of thing that they need to develop a new one each year, just like they do with the flu.
Would you trust them to the level that if they came out with it, like I've been researching the lightly coronavirus vaccines. Emergency vaccine is like a phrase they throw around out there. Would you feel safe taking an emergency vaccine?
Like one that hasn't been tested for safety?
Yeah,
No.
But it gets kind of past these emergency vaccines. No, I thought you would approve the emergency.
No, that's not. That sounds like.
How come?
That sounds like something that. That's like something that one would push to have it done in time for the election, because it's not gonna. It's not worth it if you're giving this.
But these are like the main vaccine companies. These are the ones like run by scientists that are coming up with it, and the emergency vaccine. I guess the benefit would be like, okay, it might not be perfect, but it's gonna have to cut it for now. I
would rather take precautions, do the masking, do the distancing, than take something. No, you don't. I think there are people who would do that, who would take that risk. I just don't.
What about you guys? Would you take the emergency vaccine if the general populace was like, all right, just generally you heard out there, we're going to take the emergency vaccine? Would you do it?
As a preventative, or like if I thought I was infected?
No, preventative.
You can't really take a vaccine after.
Probably not. If I was scared and I was
Yeah.
infected, then who knows what I might
A little
do.
too late with the vaccine. I'll give you the
Well,
vaccine after you catch it. How's that sound?
If I had like
Yeah.
more of a public facing job, I probably would consider it. Like if I was a grocer, or I mean not a grocer, like a bagger at a grocery store, I would probably want
Yeah.
the vaccine. But you know, in the kitchen, I'm like usually by myself, and I'm not exposed to customers unless I go outside myself. So yeah, I think I'd probably pass.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what because I've been looking at it and they use the phrase. It doesn't sound great at all. Emergency vaccine.
yeah, I haven't
There's
I
a lot
haven't
of
heard of
companies
that.
like Pfizer and Moderna and AstraZeneca. They're all trying to pass. I don't know. I'm not part of the legislation, obviously, but pass an emergency vaccine. I don't know exactly what that would even mean, if it would make it available and if people would start doing it. But yeah, I would wait for the CDC's opinion. I wouldn't just slam a vaccine. I wouldn't meet some guy named Henry behind Rollins, let
Yeah.
him, let
I
him
mean, if
stick
it's
me with a fake
approved,
vaccine.
if it's approved by the FDA and recommended by the CDC, that I would have to assume that there was some minimal, like, minimum of consideration for safety and efficacy, and that I would do that. But I would wait for the CDC or for my boss to tell me that's a good idea.
What are the odds that COVID just continues to mutate and we never develop a vaccine for it and it becomes sort of like the common cold?
Oh, that's a question for Dr. Fauci. I think there's a good chance that, I mean, it will become like the common cold insofar as it will continue to mutate. We're not going to be able to eradicate it entirely. I think there's a pretty good chance that we'll have some kind of vaccine that will have imperfect protective effect, and that it will still. It's that's actually a little bit outside my scope, but I think probably. I think it'll
Are
be.
you
I think it'll
worried
be
about
sticking
that?
around.
That it just might just rip through like a wildfire without ceasing? Because it seems like it has that capacity
Yeah.
to make its rounds. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
definitely.
It's not getting knocked out. It just keeps on. It's not being stopped.
Yeah.
I've seen it circle the globe.
Yeah, we're
Like
not going to.
Globetrotters.
We're not going to. I think that the chance that we'd be able to eradicate it entirely would be pretty low.
Have you considered the
Yeah.
evolutionary effects of people getting COVID due to not wearing masks and using other simple preventative measures? Like, do you think it's going to have a net sort of like boon to the general IQ of the Earth?
Maybe. I don't know. That's that's kind of a
Might be too much.
That's-
I don't think it could encode our DNA that quickly, could it?
No, I think he's saying like a
genes?
natural selection for.
Oh yeah, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Let's go. Just burn
Yeah.
off the dead wood.
I mean, I guess that's usually the way it goes. So yeah,
I
why
feel
not?
like that implies
Let it burn.
that there's like a direct relationship, that there aren't a bunch of people not taking precautions who are then getting people sick who are taking precautions, because it's so widespread that it leads to a generally more infectious atmosphere, as far as things that people touch.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems relatively preventable because when the all the protests were happening, everyone was wearing masks, and there weren't any super spreader events at any of the protests.
Yeah,
That's true.
and I mean
That's
just
surprising.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by that? Wouldn't it seem like at one of those rallies, like if there was a place where it would super spread, it's a matter of like maybe the data didn't get tracked effectively enough? Because I don't understand.
Are you saying
I
the
think
liberal media is
yes,
skewing it?
sneakily.
A liberal bias? Is there a liberal bias happening here?
I see how you snuck that in there.
I don't see how it could have been even tracked effectively, whether it did or not, because we're moving around so quickly. We can't even really say exactly which event caused it, especially during that time, because there's fucking, I don't know. Never mind.
I mean, it could be that.
What do you think about the way the numbers are reported? There's a non-biased question. Do you think they're reporting numbers well enough, or do you think they're skewing it at a proportion at all?
It's probably underreported because they're only reporting the positive tests. Some of those are I mean, they're only reporting the results of tests that have been done, and there are plenty of people who never get tested, who never get symptoms. So, I mean, it's generally probably a little bit worse than they say it is. But there's been pressure from the administration from Trump to the people doing the reporting to actually suppress those numbers. So it's not being over-reported. I can say that with relative confidence.
Right. Well, there was one theory flying around that with deaths at hospitals, they counted it as COVID deaths, even if the person was like suffering some like really debilitating disease.
Yeah.
And they would have died like the next day anyways, but COVID came on and pushed them a lot, just give them a little push from the behind.
I know.
That would happen so often that it would skew like the percentages in their favor. It'd be like, it's crazy how many people who came in here like having been in a car accident also had COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just reporting what I heard other people done saying about fake numbers. I don't know.
One of the ways
I say check the books. I say
one of the ways
go
that
right to the books.
They're trying to call shenanigans on some of the numbers because a lot of complications happen from COVID deaths, where it's like, if you have like a heart disease issue or like whatever, like that's what kills you, but you wouldn't have died if you hadn't had COVID. And so like I've seen like Trumpers and anti-vaxxers and shit like try to argue that like like it's some kind of conspiracy that these deaths are being marked as COVID deaths instead of as like what was exacerbated by the COVID.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're underreporting it or anything like that. I think it's a nightmare trying to track it though. Some days I do look at the case count numbers and some days I don't. But yeah.
I'm honestly not following it that closely. Yeah. The numbers. I mean, I've listened to the radio, and it doesn't really change my practice. Like I have to be on alert and I have to take precautions regardless. If it's getting worse, I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did when it was not as bad.
Do you feel like since this happened, you chose the medical field because you wanted to help people, right? And now is one of those awkward obstacles where you get the chance to help the most. Do you still feel that way?
Do I still feel
like the passion for the job? Like, that like I assume part of why you chose medical is because you want to help people.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue that this is the best chance for you to actually utilize that skill. Do you feel that way?
There was plenty there. There were plenty of things to help with.
Sorry, that's probably a bullshit question.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a bullshit question. It's my reaction is my emotional response is that I was already overwhelmed a little before this happened. There's a lot of sick people, a lot of chronic disease in this country.
Yeah.
And there's a shortage of primary care providers. So that's no, not too stoked about it. I mean, I'm privileged to be able to do my job still, and to be able to be of some service, but it's not. I don't know.
You're not like like Patch Adams being like, well, if I said I wanted to do it before, I better act like I mean it now.
Great Patch Adams impression, by the way.
That was uncanny.
I've heard.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Fuck you. I know it wasn't. Yeah, but you know what I mean. If you you could be the, hey Max, maybe I'm just giving you advice. You could start an Instagram profile and just have a handle be like, if not now, then when? Time take.
Great. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah, I should.
I'm giving you side business ideas in case you quit the medical field.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I couldn't do that.
No, you wouldn't.
Went too much debt.
No, I was just reading. I was reading some psychological pandering about people who choose medicine as a career, and there's two types I want you to know. And Do you want to know what the two types
Do I have a choice?
shield are?
Yeah, I do.
One type shies away from conflict and never talks to girls when they want to, and the other type loves hard work and life or death levels of responsibilities.
Those two things aren't opposites, it sounds like.
Did you read that out of the Maxim magazine?
One talks to
I just
girls
made it up.
and one likes responsibility. What the hell is that supposed to be?
Hey,
Those
did
are
you
two
really?
types of-
Did you really see that somewhere?
It was a misdirection joke. No, I'm sorry, I slid in a misdirection.
Oh yeah, you're so
That's
slippery.
not actually.
You're so sneaky.
Smooth.
I liked it as a non sequitur, though.
I love having a choice
Yeah,
between two mutually non-exclusive things. You're either this way or you're this other way that's compatible with the first way.
No, I knew if
Vice
I
versa.
did that, it was going to annoy you. Exactly why I did it. It's one of those
No, that's
things. It's
good.
like,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
that chose it because they like neat, orderly lives and structures, and the other one likes dealing with deep emotional conflict on a highly emotional level.
Yeah.
The vulnerable, or the invulnerable medical professional. Which one are you?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Definitely vulnerable.
That's the one to go with. You win. All you invulnerable medical professionals. I would
Invulnerable like the Hulk?
Yeah, don't take his medicine. What does he know about pain and suffering?
Mm-hmm.
He was a doctor.
That's true. Never mind.
Not a doctor of
Adam,
medicine. It's a doctor of radiation. He's like a radiologist or something.
Radiation is medicine. I mean, in our newfangled modern world, until we learn otherwise.
Radiation is medicine sounds like a very dangerous campaign. It's like, hold still, you'll feel better. We're just gonna blast you with some rays in this dark room for a second.
50s style. That's why all our grandparents are so robust and alive.
So you get a fake tan too. You can get a fake tan with extra radiation, right?
That's right.
End up with a nice Donald Trump orange glow to your face.
That's right.
So yeah, we're an anti-Trump. We're on your side. We're anti. Sorry to frame you, but we're anti-Trump, pro-Nixon podcast, episode 16.
Pro Nixon.
When did we go anti-Trump?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, I figured if we need to soften it up a little bit. If we're gonna say pro-Nixon, then we're gonna be totally dislikable. But if we admit that we also dislike Donald Trump, we'll be a little bit more likable. So we can kind of ride that sneaky little line between Nixon and Trump, you know.
Why do we need people to like us?
No, we don't. That's exactly. You sound just like Nixon. Perfect. Exactly what Nixon.
You sound just like Nick. You sound just like Nixon.
Who, as we all know, was a cool dude.
There's two kinds of people in the world. There's those who are like Patch Adams, and there's those who are like Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Which are you?
That's from the Bible.
Well,
in case you
I'll tell you why we have to have people like us, because we're pitching the Our Snakes Tight campaign, and are people even going to vote in the Our Snakes Tight campaign if they don't even like what we're saying?
I voted early.
Our Snakes Tight?
I voted through the mail.
Snakes are tight, right? You don't have to tell me, but I'm pretty sure you voted yes.
I voted many times, and I committed voter fraud. It was super easy.
Well done.
Did you pay some people? Apparently, that's how they do it. Like, bad people, they like approach immigrants and offer them like $5 to go cast a ballot for them. Is that how you did it?
Yes. It's how.
All right. Well, nice.
Ryan thinks immigrants are bad. Did you guys hear that?
He's willing to buy votes.
Nixon 2020.
I'll buy your vote. I'll buy all your votes.
Pro-snake, pro-Nixon.
My vote's not for sale.
That's right.
I got your digital.
What if we paid off?
Can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you're not wearing your tinfoil hat, so I'll just fucking take it.
Get off my vote, man.
Vote or die.
Give me your vote or die.
Max, your one vote. Our campaign is: Are snakes tight? Yes or no? I think snakes are definitely tight.
Yeah, I'm pro snake.
Ezra, you can't bias the interviewer or the
I
interviewee.
didn't. All I did was I did it.
You're like, do you think snakes are
Right.
tight? I do. Are snakes tight?
I'll do what I want. It worked. Hey,
Yeah,
it worked. I
okay,
already
okay.
knew he'd be pro snake.
Yeah.
I already knew he'd be pro snake.
Animated love story where it's a poisonous snake and a poisonous toad, and they're addicted to each other's venom.
That's
When's
beautiful.
it available?
I would watch that Netflix series.
That's my
Yeah, I
pick.
would too.
Can the intro song be Britney Spears? Cause you know that you're toxic.
Yeah, that would be a good
And
one.
Yeah.
can show them slithering away and towards each other really sexily.
Yeah.
Addicted to
Ooh,
each
you
other's
guys should
venom.
push
That's
that.
trouble. That's like a codependent relationship.
I got a snake fact for you guys. Snakes are tight.
Nice. Snakes are tight.
Snake
That's
facts.
right.
Wonderful. All right, man. I gotta get going pretty soon.
Thanks, Max. That was my brother, Max Pryor. He's a physician's aide. I'm not unless you want me to promote. Do you want to promote your Twitter handle or your Instagram handle or anything?
No, that's okay. I don't really tweet.
Yeah,
my title though,
that'd
just FYI, it's a physician assistant is what.
I always fuck it up.
That's
I'm
okay.
such a bad brother.
That's all right. You'll get it one
I
day.
can't even. I'm such a bad brother. I can never even say my. You went to school for it and shit.
I mean, semantically, it's
Smartest.
the same thing. It's fine.
Yeah. Thank you so much, though. That was actually that was a great interview. I feel
Yeah, that was great.
Oh,
that was awesome.
all right. Well, thanks for having me on. It's always
yeah.
It's always fun talking to you guys.
You can.
We actually got this one on record too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you can fall asleep tonight and feel like you did something good for people. You know?
Yeah. Oh, FYI, yeah, you should fact check. Anyone watching this should fact check anything I've said because I could be mistaken.
But nothing the rest of us says should be.
No. No, don't. Yeah, don't fact check the snake. Snake facts are not to be checked.
If Ezra caught a bullet robbing a bank,
believed.
would you dig the slug out of his arm and not make him go to the police?
That's a good question. No, you'd make me go to the cops, I feel like.
I mean, I would want you to get proper medical care. I'd take you to the hospital.
Let's say he didn't kill anybody.
Right.
And he just wanted to get away.
I just got shot.
Yeah.
That's all I said. I was like, bro, I can't tell you. I just got shot.
Yeah, I'd probably dig it out. I don't know.
Would you take me into the station? You'd make me report the gunfight?
I'd encourage it, but I wouldn't force you.
Is it? Am I a bad brother? Because I'd be like, all right, well, as long as it's over with, it's okay. No, I would insist you seek a lawyer and get medical treatment. Because that's what brothers do for each other when they get shot.
Yeah, I'd push for that.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Thanks, bro. I love you.
Yeah, love you too. Carry on, guys.
All right.
Bye.
I'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Peace, bro.
That
was awesome.
I thought it was pretty gay how you guys said you love each other.
Jason, I didn't expect the homophobia out of you. You're the least homophobic out of the three of us. I'm Ryan's. We won't say if Ryan or I is more homophobic, but we both know that we're.
I think homosexuality is beautiful. I think all love is beautiful.
Are you promo hobophobia? Jason's on charge of the promo homophobia. No,
I'm just teasing. I saw my brother the other day. It was his birthday. Shout out to Angus. And when I left, I gave him a hug and said, "I love you, bro." So
yeah, bros should say. Jason, we say "I love you" to each other.
That's true.
How dare
you?
In my head, I was just picturing if the whole rest of this episode was just Ezra on a loop going promo dojo mobo bo 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 bo.
That would be about equivalent to each episode. No,
MC Scat Cat over here.
So we already got 35 minutes down on record. I'm thinking maybe we should break.
Not before I do some improv scat singing because I have to compensate for how much cooler my brother is than me.
Yeah.
No. Skibbity scap scap. I'm the artistic one. Just kidding. He's really he plays bass as well. But that was awesome. Yeah, you want to take a break now that we learned something about public health from a horse, right from the horse's mouth. To the brother's horse's mouth, to Jason's horse's mouth, to Ryan's horse's mouth. we'll be back soon to talk about Mandy. Mandy was the movie we chose this week. Maybe we'll cover a snake factor too. Stay tuned.
Woo!
I'm back on the massage books. I gave five deep tissues the other day. That's what I call them, deep tissues.
Deep tish. Call it a deep
When
tish.
we do the deep tissue massage. That's
I'm gonna
deep tissue massage therapy.
Call it a deep tish pizza, except
That's right.
the tomato sauce is my hands.
It's blood. I'm so
Dude,
important.
I have a new favorite name of a product / logo. I want you to. So sometimes I get plant-based meat. Pretty delicious. Not as gross necessarily as the way that they make real meat. Check it out. It's called Incognito.
Oh.
And its logo is this cow that's in disguise. He's wearing a bowler hat and a monocle, and he's got a little fucking mustache.
I love it.
That's
genius.
I bet moms love that. Yeah. That's an undercover cow. That's an undercover cow. But is the cow then made of? That would be the only conclusion. He's a vegetable.
I like to think that the cow has like a wife that doesn't know he's a cow. That at some point is gonna have to like.
She's gonna be like, you didn't think it was important to tell me you were. You didn't think it was important to tell me you're a cow.
Gordon, she's gonna be utterly devastated.
You are a cow.
Incognito. That is very cute. I want to make our own banana vodka brand. Like our liquor company only makes banana vodka, and the tagline would be the hangover you can't ignore or forget. So brutally, bringing you the hangover you can't ignore or forget that will maybe get you into the meetings. I'm in for one banana vodka.
What if
people may be getting sober since 1995?
What if you did something that was like a little more off the tongue, like quick, like peel your mind,
and the rest will follow.
That sounds awful. I don't want to peel my mind.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds terrible.
You gotta tell
like one layer at a time.
Peeling a banana. Yeah, the logo will be pulling a banana. Yeah.
And then it's just a guy like tears open his face. And then there's and then there's a liquor bottle where the green should be, but the liquor bottle is made out of brains. It's like claymation that's squirming and like shooting fluids all over the place.
Is it you or the vodka? That's one of the questions.
The bottle is like a little alien fetus that lives inside you and is operating you like a machine with levers, like Men in Black.
Totally.
I just want the guy in the logo to have a face like he pulls the banana out. Like strongly considering ending his own life, basically. Facial expression. I want the banana vodka because that's where banana vodka will get you. That's where banana vodka. Like, you should be very honest. Banana vodka product. It will not
always be on the brink of a party or on the brink of a breakdown. Banana vodka.
Banana vodka. You thought you were in pain before?
Yeah, banana vodka. It should be like banana vodka is here to.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can do like an ad campaign where he's like got the banana in his mouth. He's just like.
No, I was thinking you'd be bummed out like at a bus stop, and then you're like bummed out. Let banana vodka take it away, and then a big banana peel with like a canoe spot in it scoops him up in the in the banana peel.
And then like spindly hands reach out of the clouds and just start like peeling layers of his face off, just one by one.
Yeah,
he's like, oh.
Banana vodka is. I have drank it before. It is a regrettable. I don't know who came up with the business idea or how well is doing, but Jason might start a banana vodka. Jason and I got in a big tiff argument actually, because I said I wouldn't. Jason was trying to get me to donate $10,000 to his vodka coin. Ryan, how much would you? I put in $2,222.22 towards vodka coin. Are you gonna contribute?
I just put all my money into the banana vodka venture.
Well, same thing. So yeah, we're on the same page then.
Oh, good.
All the money from
Well-
the banana vodka venture fuel funnels into the banana vodka coin, I think.
I put in
Vodcoin is a separate entity.
1,000 Earth dollars.
It's a sole proprietorship. So the money.
Could skate free.
I want some tax
Uh-oh.
breaks then. God damn it.
Our banana vodka spokesman cut out mid banana vodka. That's gonna
Funny
drop
that
our
you-
stocks down.
Yeah,
You
I don't
just
want to
dropped
say
their
too much.
Banana vodka stocks. You just dropped their coins all over the floor. Our banana vodka coins.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Dude, I think you left a couple of
Ugh.
vodka coins on it. I found some of your vodka. It must have fallen out of your pocket. Soon enough, people will be saying shit like that. Bro, so are those your banana vodka coins on the floor? I didn't want to grab them. Anyway.
Hey, so
It's a
I
business
started
idea.
I started a list today.
Uh-oh.
It's
No, I
the
like
list is of great sleeping bag deaths in film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Hit me
yeah.
with it. I don't know a
Um,
single one.
Oh God. Well, so the best and probably earliest is Prophecy, which is about a monster who's like part bear and part tumor. And he just like ravages the this like nature preserve with campers and stuff.
Is that Christopher
Part
Walken
bear.
or is that The Prophecy?
I think that's the Prophecy. This
Okay.
one's just called Prophecy.
All right. Continue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I'll edit a clip in because I think it's
Okay.
worthwhile. But the clip here, I'll just send the link on the
Play it.
group since we're all direct messaging.
Hello.
Oh, what's up, Jonan?
Did you guys see
I'm
Hey,
gonna
that?
Jonan.
share our screen.
Hello.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
share our screen.
I was
and I'm gonna-
pretending this here banana
Yeah.
was a gun, and then I was pretending it was a telephone.
Always
Yeah,
playing
you were.
pretend. It's making me go live if I want to screen share. I don't know if we just want to suddenly be
Don't
launching
go
live.
live.
I don't even
We
know
got
where
no show. for
live
people.
launching live to the dark web.
Can
Now
you guys see my
streaming live
screen?
on the dark web.
Yes.
Can you
I
see my
can, yeah.
screen? Okay.
Somebody
All right.
did.
I can see your screen.
Check this shit out.
Don't look for the apples.
Oh, look for the apples.
Oh, you have to
No,
click
go
watch.
over there. I'll get because then I'll have to find a new. You know how.
Hey, wait, hold on. We're streaming.
Hold
this.
on. I gotta go get. I hid the apples so John wouldn't eat. So he'd have
Okay.
apples for later in the week.
They're good.
That's
I know
fair.
that.
Apple
That's why
problems.
Hey,
You
most
gotta
kids are
watch
trying to
it.
steal your.
Don't tell him where the apples are. If
You
can
made
see.
apples sound like a drug stash at your house, and the FBI were coming
Well,
to
they're
crash
they're
it.
delicious.
Hold on, I gotta go take care of these apples off screen. They're coming. I'm just joshing.
I'm pressing
I'm
cider,
just-
boys.
We're paused for you. I don't even know what we're playing.
Did I
Is this? I pressed play. Is this a
Did I
a
lose
sleeping
everyone?
bag death scene? No, I'm here. I'm still here.
What?
I
right.
said I'm still here.
So, Mandy.
I don't know
right?
where Ryan is. Yeah.
Did you FBI?
Hello? Hello?
Jason, are you there? I can hear you, Ryan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see
And
both
I can hear
are
both
you-
of you.
as well.
Were you gonna play a stream? Weren't you gonna show some clip or
Hell
something?
yeah.
What am I doing talking
All right,
into this
play it.
banana then? You guys.
Wasting your damn time. We already
You
rallied
guys,
enough
come
money
on.
for a banana vodka coin.
Silly looking.
Trying to ratchet up profits.
Give
Trying
me
to
your
ratchet up profits, Ryan. That's what you're doing.
fair.
Throwing
All right.
bananas everywhere, getting people to buy. Buy in. Initial coin offering, banana vodka. Buy
It's
one banana
genius.
vodka coin. Get 2 banana vodka coins free. That's 3 banana vodka coins for the price of 1. But you have to buy the first banana vodka coin within the next hour off the dark web.
There we go. Hey guys.
Sold.
All right. Sold. All right. Banana vodka. Banana
All right.
vodka. Banana vodka. There's 2 of me now. Now there's 1. Are you gonna
Are
play
you
this shit, or should we?
Here we go.
Okay.
Neat. Do I have to click where it says watch
I think
stream, or
it's-
that's just what your screen says?
It's frozen. It's not showing it.
Oh,
It's just a frozen screen.
what the hell?
I don't know. We heard
Does
it.
You guys
yours
didn't
say
see any of
watch
that?
stream? Should I click it?
Yeah,
I did. Or I don't know where it is.
Ryan,
now.
you couldn't see it either.
I don't. What's that
It's
button?
not.
Oh, I'm seeing the name of it. Oh,
You see stuff?
now I can see it.
Okay, cool.
I see dead people.
Ezra, do you see it?
I just see dead people. No, I don't see it yet.
Did you click?
But I do see dead
Is there like a link that you can click?
There was before, and then it dicked around. It dicked off to right field and said, "I'm out."
Okay.
Now it's just a spinning 2-dot structure. But if you guys can see it, just go ahead and play it. It's alright if I don't see it. Ryan, can you see it on your screen?
I can see it.
All right, that's good enough. Press play.
All right, here we go.
Oh no! That was great.
So, yeah, it's a good murder style for the month ahead. That's a big theme for murderers. They like to kill teenagers who are trying to get laid in the woods. So I guarantee you, there's 1,000 Jason movies like movies. You know what I mean? All those original ones. The murderers always killing teenagers trying to get laid. Which this is our Sweet 16 episode. So yeah, let's watch some couples get murdered to death.
Oh boy.
Oh, I think you're frozen. I can't see any anymore.
But yeah, so we should go ahead and talk about Mandy, which was the movie we chose to watch this week, starring Nicolas Cage and what's the name of the female actress? I should know. Female actress. Do you guys know the actress's name? This is so unprofessional.
The the actress's name is Andrea Riseborough. Andrea Riseborough, and she was in some other stuff. She was in Birdman. Yeah.
Huh. Didn't see it. Heard good things.
Oh, it's great. But yeah, she does a great job. She's a very lovable character. You only know her for like 10 minutes, but you know, like she's like an artist and whipping off like space facts, which is like super cool. Space is tight.
So a lot of people would categorize this as a horror movie.
Hello.
But my first reaction is that is a subsection of horror movies that we don't have as much in American cinema, but it is a revenge movie more specifically.
Yeah.
Which I know in the East is much larger of a subgenre, that this guy is wronged in an unimaginable way. And where in a lot of horror movies you feel for the victims as they're being brutalized, throughout the rest of this movie, Nicolas Cage is getting revenge on the people that have ruined his life. And so you're getting like a terrible catharsis from his mayhem.
In a surprisingly nonsensical order, but I think Ezra's having some connectivity issues. I think he's trying to connect now, so hopefully he'll have good luck. Fingers crossed.
Where'd he go? He was having no connectivity issues, and now he's been banished off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I heard him go hello, and then he disconnected, and then tried to reconnect, and disconnected again. Now he's trying to connect again.
You don't think this is the work of the Huffington Post?
Here, I'm gonna hack their mainframe and see if that fixes it.
Try to reverse the polarity if that doesn't work.
Let's see.
Ezra just texted me to ask if we are still live.
I am. Thank you for asking.
There he is. Oh, that's you. You're right. That is what you wrote.
Yeah. Okay, so I found the switch on HuffingtonPost.com. So I'm about to deactivate their blocker.
Pull the switch.
That should allow Ezra to come through.
He's been blacklisted, blackballed.
Okay. It's asking for a password. Let me try something.
Fargo Mahogany. Try that.
Okay.
69.
Oh, connecting.
I used to be a double agent.
Should we call Steven Yarbrough? Are you guys worried about it?
No.
No? All right. We're going to leave where Steve is a mystery. Build suspense for next week. You guys will be just twice as worried about Steve next week as you were this week. So will we be? Well, right now, we're back. We're going to talk about Mandy, which is the movie we chose starring Nicolas Cage. It involves forces of evil. He's living with his girlfriend in the woods, and these weird group of I would say religious cult members who work in association with this strange group of demons who appear on motorcycles end up killing Nicolas Cage's girlfriend, and he has to get revenge. And it's a really awesome revenge movie with tons of awesome fight scenes, and it's also very surreal, which I liked a lot. I think it's the 6th Nicolas Cage movie we've covered, so we obviously love Nicolas Cage. If you want to recommend a Nicolas Cage movie, feel free. What did you guys enjoy about Mandy most?
I liked the simplicity of the plot. It felt a lot like a game of Metroid or something, where he doesn't have his like powers and stuff, and then like he goes through like the beginning cutscene, and then he like goes and finds his friend and like gets his stuff, and then he like goes and fights some bosses. The order is weird because like in a video game, you know, you kill like the weak guys first, but he like goes after the fucking what are they called? The Black Skulls.
Yeah, the gang of there's 5. Yeah,
Four.
the weird
There's 4 of them.
Four. So there's a weird religious cult, and the main leader spots Nicolas Cage's girlfriend, and then he goes into the field an abandoned field with him and his cult, the guy that's tracking down Nicolas Cage's girlfriend, who's part of a religious cult, and he like blows on this kind of harmonica thing, and these 4 demons on motorcycles show up. And I liked the involvement between a human group of sick individuals as aided by the supernatural group of these strange black skulls. Is that what they were called?
Mm-hmm.
Entities that show up on motorcycles that Nicolas Cage has to kill. And it is a lot like a video game because he doesn't just have to work his way through the family. He has to work his way through each one of those demons. So it is like it happens in levels. And I thought the fight scenes were pretty incredible too.
Oh, I love the fight scenes. Yeah, the chainsaw fight is glorious.
It is.
It puts Star Wars to shame.
Yeah,
I wrote that this was my favorite chainsaw fight since Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where Dennis Hopper is a sheriff that chainsaw fights. So this is very high on my list.
Imagine how hard it would be to train for chainsaw fighting. Like, if you don't make it through training of chainsaw fighting training, you probably get chainsawed to death, is my guess. So it's a pretty hardcore battle scene to see play out. And he wins. He totally out chainsaws, not to blow the cover, not to spoil alert, Nick Cage wins the chainsaw fight. But it's
very intelligently too. One of the things I like about this movie is that he clearly thinks about what he's doing before he does it, and he has a strategy. Like he 1 second he doesn't have a weapon, and then he turns the chains, and then turns the
chainsaw
turns the tables by picking up a chain and just like pulling the guy into the discarded chainsaw on the ground. Like,
guts him open. You see the chainsaw ripping him up from. Well, you don't see it, but you see all the blood come squirting out. Yeah. He
I feel like
wrangles him with a running chainsaw. He wrangles the guy with a running chainsaw with those chains.
I feel like there could have been more blood in that scene, but I know that's nitpicky.
Well, it was all blocked out because that was what kind of made it look so horrific, though, is you understood the chainsaw was under the guy just
Like inside him and just misting everything out of him. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. If you want a face down chainsaw massacre, you have to settle for a little less blood spray.
I would like to see a pool forming along with the spray, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's
When
the
he cuts
cameraman's fault.
one of the bikers that's on top of him and all the blood falls down onto his face, he's drowned. I mean, that's a lot of blood. That's a liter of blood right into his open mouth and nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
And
nasty.
one of those guys drank like an entire jar full of that like super strong LSD. And they do that regularly. So when he's getting covered in blood, he's also like absorbing a shit ton of LSD at the same time.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bad trip.
But those guys are actually humans. They look like they're called demons, but they were created by taking like a really bad batch of acid made by the guy who like releases the tiger. I love that scene.
I noticed that he does not wear gloves. That he's preparing blotter paper in a pool in a shallow sink full of LSD, and he's doing it not wearing gloves. And then he makes a point to lick his fingers as well during the. So these are very, very high functioning trip heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're bent on they keep to themselves except for when they track someone down and murder them. Otherwise, they're a pretty isolated religious cult.
And did he say that the tiger is for testing LSD out on? Right?
Yeah.
He said, "I know
Animal
that's how I
abuse.
got a good batch is when she is calm." That's a terrible way for testing out acid.
Yeah, very ineffective. There's no controlled measure there. It's just lapping up a certain amount, and then you have to just guess what's the acid and what's not.
Yeah, this guy is clearly terrible. He released a tiger into the wild. Like,
Yeah,
that's bad.
It's unclear how affiliated he is with the rest of the bad guys, and because he displays a little bit of sympathy for Nicolas Cage's situation, but he also seems to know about it immediately, which I guess reveals his greater culpability.
Yeah, I think maybe they may be indicating that he's like reading his mind because he's like that high on acid.
Yeah, that's a thing.
yeah.
That
I
was my
imagine
take.
a lot of those religious cults, they like justify the experience of whatever. They have extreme rituals regarding like birth and death, and I know that if I was to take acid during those repetitively, I know I would start to believe that shit more. And that's what actually happens with those like types of cults, is they use that substance to like propel the insane drug-addled mindset going forward, because they try to drug they do drug Nicolas Cage's girlfriend. That was one of the creepiest part. They use one of those spiders and they inject it into her neck.
But
That wasn't
the
even
wasp.
acid. That wasn't even acid though. That was a poisonous psychedelic.
That was the cherry
wasp.
on the sundae, I think.
The cherry on top, I think she called it.
Yeah, cherry on top. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was soaking in LSD though, like because they kept it in a jar.
I thought that was just preservative, maybe, to keep it
Yeah.
alive.
Maybe they
I
had
don't know.
acid and psychedelic spider injection sites. But yeah, they do.
They didn't like show her suddenly start tripping balls as soon as she got stung by the wasp, so I could be
Yeah, they did.
off base.
I
they
feel
did.
like the cult leader was supposed to be interesting, and he really wasn't.
Yeah,
I think that was part of the joke. Like he's this
he's
like
pathetic.
artist who like brings this girl over and then he puts on his own album, you know? Like and she starts laughing. It's like it's just like, oh, it's so good because that's what cult leaders are, you know? They're these like small
Empty
town like
Yeah.
little like charismatic narcissists who can like get like, you know, empty people to like follow him around and lick his balls. But like, you know, a robust like normal human being who's like an artist herself and like, you know, reads and knows about science and shit, like that shit's hilarious, you know?
Yeah, he's not the most protected because he's the strongest. He's the most protected because he's like the weakest, despite being the leader. Like they're all kind of serving as a front against him. Like he's always managed to be in the back room, but also still in control. Up until Nicolas Cage comes in, busts open the door, And I like that scene because the cult leader, yeah, he's so not strong a personality. He goes like, "I'll suck your dick. Is that what you want?"
Yeah,
Like as soon as he's confronted with fists, he just breaks down and is like, "Come on, man, leave me alone. I'll blow you."
The line is, "I'll blow you, man. I'll suck your fucking dick."
It's like Jason said that it seems weird that he gets rid of like the inhuman demons with the rusty nails coming out of their helmets first,
Yeah.
and then he's like, now is the people on LSD.
And
Well,
strategically, I guess that makes sense. You take out the strong like defenders before you go in for the vulnerable, so that there's nothing to protect them.
You know what I would have liked to see, like that I would have loved to see as an extra movie, as like a DVD extra or something, is more in the house where the demons live. Because if you see they have like cigarettes and booze and they're watching TV, I'd like to see what the day in the life of the demon acid house is like. They're just getting McDonald's and they're doing type stuff.
Probably fucking each other.
Well, did you see the pile of corpses and with the guy with the bloody ass like laying on top of this girl like in the bedroom?
Hot.
So that's the work of Fuck Pig. Fuck Pig. And Fuck Pig, I'll go into like one of the things I noticed about this movie. There are 3 moments of just like total mundanity, and like I just love the way they use the mundanity as like a pacing mechanism. But anyway, Fuck Pig is sitting on the couch watching television, which is like, or porn. That's one of those like weird mundane moments in this like fucking surreal like world. It's almost like grounding compared to everything else going on. But like, yeah, Fuck Pig has a large blade for a dick,
Yeah.
And so he's responsible for the pile of corpses in the bedroom.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific. Yeah, movies definitely capable of horrific shit, like having a blade for a dick. Your intentions can't be that great, right?
Yeah, I love that it fucks him in the end because he like goes to attack Nick Cage, but then his dick like sticks into the floor, and then he's just like kind of,
stumbles on his own dick blade.
And he's just like perfectly positioned for Nick Cage to just like slice his throat.
Done in by his own dick blade.
Yeah, he fucked himself.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. No. You got to be careful with that shit, right?
You keep your dick blade wrapped up tight. Yeah.
So I did write down the names of the other bikers.
Right.
Please tell us.
Yeah, I don't remember the names.
Scabs. Sis.
Gross.
And Scratch.
Scratch.
That's not so bad. That one, Cyst is the worst.
Sis, S-I-S. There's a female biker. I didn't actually realize this until I looked on the Wikipedia, the fan Wikipedia page for the villains section of Mandy. But yeah, Sis is the character that's like dripping and like rips his shirt.
Not cyst.
No, not cyst. Sis.
Cyst.
Like sister.
Oh, I thought it was like C-Y-S-T, like a cyst, and that was gross.
That's understandable considering the themes going on with the other characters' names.
Yeah, I guess that makes Scabs the grossest then, or Fuck Pig.
Yeah, Fuck Pig's the worst for sure.
You kind of can't see some of their faces a lot of times too. They have that kind of naturally shadowy, protective.
What's the one with the big nails? That's my favorite one.
Yeah, he's the one that gets hit with the bow and arrow. Nicolas Cage, his first kill, like right up atop the road. It's like that was really satisfying for some reason, wasn't it? To watch that arrow hit that guy. I was like, nice shot.
Yeah,
nice shot.
Yeah, he took one out like right away. He gets his shit. He like forges a fucking axe, and then he drops one like immediately. Classic shit. He just takes them down one by one.
Nicolas Cage, I think we chose him. I've realized I like him because like he does just play like an unhinged character better than anyone I like, just in terms of the way he does it. Like I liked like perfect example. There are compilation videos of Nicolas Cage just flipping the fuck out, and in this one, the main flip out, like emotional breakdown. I mean, like is right after his girlfriend gets killed, and he goes back into the bathroom. And he's just in his underwear and his shirt, like taking a drink of vodka and screaming, and then like looking and pouring it on his wounds and drinking more and screaming. and crying.
That scene is like
That was
6
like a
minutes
3
long.
minute, yeah, 6 minutes long of him just
Yeah.
flipping out in the
Great, though.
bathroom.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
And it looks like
take.
he's wearing a diaper too, but it's badass somehow because he's like, you know what I mean? He's like suffering, and he walks home only wearing his underwear. That's why.
Well, he's just got
That's
a
why-
hog. That's not.
He's got a
It's
hog.
not like. It's not
I've been-
It's not a diaper. That's just his fat
He's
cock.
got a hog. Yeah, I guess we're all just admiring it. Or I admired his. No, not that. It looked like I don't know where to go with this Nicolas Cage's dick showing in his underwear. I didn't notice a big lump. I bet there was though. I bet Cage has got a.
Let's
Now we
go
should
to
have-
the videotape.
Yeah, go to the video. I want to see the Cage lump now.
Yeah, let's. I would love to know how many takes it took for him to get that take. You know,
Yeah.
like how many times did he have to pretend to drink alcohol and just like rage for like however long that scene is? It felt like at least like 4 or 5 minutes.
Totally.
But I want to go into the other mundane moments in the film briefly. After they set Mandy on fire, which is truly a horrific act, and that's what inspired me to look into sleeping bag deaths, because it looks like she's in a sleeping bag. I'm not sure that it is or not.
I thought it was like a potato sack, like a.
Yeah, it could have just been a
Wes
bag,
He
not
probably
a
said
sleeping bag.
bags or dicks.
But that's what inspired me to compile a list of sleeping bag death scenes. But anyway, after that scene, the cultists are just like packing up their car and driving away, and it's like this slow little scene in between, like really tense moments. But it shows you like the banality of evil in a way that I think is really
Yeah.
noticeable for me anyway. And then the final one is when Nicolas Cage, whose character's name is Red, or at least that's how they refer to him in reviews and shit. But he gets stuck in the mud, like he's like driving his like ATV through like tunnels and shit, like he's in a video game, and then suddenly he's just stuck in the mud. And for a second, you think like, oh, this is going to be a quicksand scene. Like now he's going to deal with some quicksand, but he just like gets off and walks away, and it's just like it's so like it doesn't need to be there, but it's there, and it's very mundane.
Yeah. No, there should be more. That's a great observation. There should be mundane details in movies because it makes it feel realer when like
Yeah,
there's more boring like just like hi, how are you doing stuff. You actually feel like you're part of it.
it grounds you in the space. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's really nothing interesting about the family one by one when he deals with them. None of them are like especially like interesting characters as it turns
Not
out.
at
They're
all,
all just like, please don't take me down. So it functions on the level of like illusion in a big time. It's like a metaphor, that group of a metaphor, illusion for the presentation of power, where there's really nothing but vanity behind it, is the way I took it. Because the leader is the most vain by far. And those scenes where he's looking into the mirror being like, you must never, ever not believe in yourself. Those are pretty scary because that is the nature of the narcissist, and a lot of times their society does protect narcissists. So there's all kinds of different directions to take that with. But yeah, the most vulnerable is the most vain, as it turns out. So don't be so full of yourself. It'll weaken you, and then you'll end up begging to suck a guy's dick so he doesn't kill you, all because you're a demon in a house, you know?
The I Ching actually talks about this a lot. Like, if you have a strong personality, if you surround yourself with weak people, then it will be your downfall.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
What if you have a weak personality? Then what do you do? The opposite? Strong people?
Well, I mean, that's like kind of where democracy and shit like comes in. You know, you
Muscle
like
men?
rally, you find other weak people, you know, and like you work together to overcome like whatever is.
And what do you
problem.
think this movie would be saying as a weak person, like you shouldn't be around?
Like people who are sycophants rather.
Language.
Yeah, you know, like brown nosers and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what should brown nosers do? They should stop being brown nosers. Like, you know,
Nicolas Cage will get you if you don't.
like there's sense in respecting people, you know, if they deserve to be respected. But
I think this movie does a good job of making you feel good about the violence that is ensuing.
Yeah.
I feel like the difference
Team
between
spirit.
rather than just like a regular action movie where he's like, these are bad guys, like you get, it's an hour before the like action really picks up, but you get to know these people and then you see something like really terrible happen in front of his eyes and just like you really, really feel for him. So that when you're in that last like third of the movie, I feel like every time he's going to kill somebody, you're still thinking about them setting his wife on fire.
Totally.
And so what I was thinking is that like I would challenge even somebody that doesn't like horror movies, your grandma or whatever, to see what all those people did to that poor woman and not be like, yeah, fucking cut their heads off.
Right.
Really makes you feel vindicated personally. It does a good job of getting you invested like that.
Especially since, like, right from the start, like, once again, vanity is what caused his girlfriend to die because the kill leader is embarrassed because he's trying to.
He rejects her.
She rejects him, and he's embarrassed, which is like the whole time we're like, of course, this guy's fucking, who wouldn't want to? And then sealed the deal when he's like just lying there and you see that she's burned and you see the last piece of her fall and hit the ground. I remember thinking like, oh wow, yeah, that's brutal. Like that, that one image was like very like, oh shit, you just saw the last of her burning embers hit the ground as he's just watching. Yeah, so I was fired up. I was like, I was totally go get those fuckers.
Yeah, totally. It was all totally deserved.
But then it wasn't sad the whole way through either. I wasn't sad, which is cool because I was more excited about seeing him. It's a great, if you like team spirit revenge murder, I would recommend this movie because that's the vibe I got from it. If you want to murder, but you have the right and you're a good person, watch this movie. Show you how. But you got to take down 4 fucking. I guess they're not demons, whatever, recreations from an acid trip or something.
Yeah. So the only other note that I have is that he puts on the armor like when he first sets out to start killing these dudes, but he never uses it. There's never a scene where like the chainsaw glances off the armor or like a crossbow bolt like just bounces. Like he doesn't ever need the armor.
And it's cool because he's not going to die, and you're right with history because he's the main character and the setup is like video game style. I think that made me more excited because every time I wasn't worried that if he was going to win, I was just excited to see how he was going to take down the next motherfucker. Because, some sick moves. Can't remember them all, but yeah. Wrangling a guy in through chains on a run, through a chainsaw on a series of chains. Gutted that one guy. That was pretty creative.
When they forge the axe and you see it, it's like fucking rad, but it's also like
he never
that's a fantasy weapon.
He?
Yeah, he does. He uses every single edge of that axe. He impales that dude with it, and then like you're like cool, and then he fucking goes further, and blood like wells out of his mouth, and it's just like yeah, fucking kill him. But yeah, so he uses the pointy end. He uses the back of it to hook the guy towards him before he kicks him into the car. And then cut his head off with the other side of it. And he cut off that old lady's head. I wrote down this line from her too. That's like really gross. Funny. She's like, I've been described as a most passionate lover. As warm waves licking upon rocky shores.
She's trying
I don't know why.
Them, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like so.
That line totally falls apart at the end too. Licking on rocky shores. Ugh, what does that even?
Yeah.
Thinking about like sand.
She's so hot, like salt water.
I can anticipate your every move. And she's like talking about how she's so empathic. She like watched this fucking woman burn while she laughed.
Yeah. I bet she would though. That's the weird thing. I bet she would be good at it, but you would know ahead of time she was a demon. But those demons, they know how to satisfy you. They try to satisfy your every desire to keep you around sometimes. So I bet she would be pretty good at Zach, but I don't think I would. She nasty.
Ezra's into older ladies.
Nasty. Only if they're demons.
Gilfs.
Only if they convince me ahead of time they can satisfy my every need before I even know it's there.
There's got to be some joke in there about getting head decapitation.
I was trying so hard not to say anything about getting head, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I was going to point that out too.
That's what the whole thing was about. Yeah.
She's like tries to give him head.
I bet she gives good. I bet she gives good. No. Yeah, no, she nasty. You're right. You did sword, and I noticed a lot. They were like mosquitoes, so when you killed them, it like was really quick, and just tons of blood came flying out of them. Like it showed their weakness that they could so quickly just be popped like mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, that guy's head caved in like a fucking watermelon in front of Gallagher and his hammer.
Oh yeah, flatten that shit.
I love how one eyeball just like kind of like it's just like dangling there.
Like, were you guys thinking like, could I crush somebody's head with my hands? I don't know. Maybe if they burned my wife alive, but generally I was watching him thinking like, I don't know if I have that kind of upper body strength.
Yeah,
I'd finally have the chance. I'd finally have the chance, and I would boom, Ong Bak it down to the ground.
Like,
you know,
I'm gonna use this pumpkin
as a class. Yeah, no, it would be hard.
It's just not gonna happen, yo.
No, I thought you meant if I had it in me emotionally to do it. At which point I'd be like, yes, I finally have an excuse to be able to commit the murderous fantasies.
Well, he's high on LSD, cocaine, and has a lethal stab wound. Like he got like a good 9 inches of that steel, like when he was hung up. Do you guys remember that?
I wish. No, I wish.
You think that was steel?
I mean, it could have been
the magic stick that they like pierced his side with, like Jesus.
Yeah, the spear of Nazareth or whatever.
Yeah, that shit looked like stone or onyx or fucking kryptonite or something.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it looked like they 3D printed it from a model from Soul Calibur.
Yeah, it had like a eye at the end of it on the handle and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new iPhone 13. You guys just described the new iPhone 13 perfectly, which is purchasable only through Banana Vodka Coin.
I love the idea of like a cult leader who like has a really lame collection of fantasy weapons and gas station knives.
Yeah, like one of those dudes who wears those sunglasses that are like curved like this with like the huge.
Well, that's probably like more likely because a cult leader is more likely to exist out in, like a sparsely populated, out in the country where people don't have nothing to do. They don't have, it's harder to connect. I feel like out in the Midwest or in the South is farmlands, places that are ripe for cult leaders.
Yeah, good impressionable people who've known nothing but picking corn their whole life. You show them
and milking cows.
And milking cows. You equate that with a life or death ceremony. Kill the pig, kill the cow, give them a little LSD. Before you know it, they're sacrificing their children at the campfire in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yep. Tale as old as time.
It's true. I think I think a good cult leader, I guess the running theory on cult leaders is that they make you feel like it was your idea, that you came up with it, when really they just channeled what they wanted you to do into it.
Cult facts.
Cult facts. I don't know how that one guy did it. I don't know how that one guy did it, but he apparently, you know what I mean? Even if someone offers you a blowjob, you can't take it, even though he killed your wife. It's just not okay.
Well, he's got work to do. Oh
yeah, no, you just wouldn't anyways. I just liked how pathetic he was in the final scene, where like as soon he did not take cult leaders should have to take self-defense classes, because he was clearly just cowering the corner. Like the other ones all put up kind of a fight, whereas the final actual cult leader, he had no fight.
Yeah,
were there cult members that we just didn't see, or was it just like a 4-person fucking cult? In which case, I'm not so impressed.
I think it was just a family, maybe some drifters. I think it was
there was the blonde-haired guy that they sacrificed to the fuck pig. There was
I hate every time.
Yeah, it's a great name.
You have no chance for people liking you if your name is fuck pig. Like, imagine having a friend being like, he's a cool guy, there's just one thing, his name is fuck pig. You'd have to wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What were you saying though? I got distracted by this awful name.
Oh God, what was it saying?
I don't know. Don't hang out with Fuckpig. He's a demon
Yeah.
projection of one of some cult leaders' weird acid trips. Fuckpig. Yeah. It made me want to learn bow and arrow skills really well to the level where I could pick off a dude driving a motorcycle from like 200 yards away.
Yeah, the crossbow is a very stealthy weapon.
I like that his friend knows very clearly when he says he's going hunting that he means I'm going to kill people. Because
Yeah.
he's like, take these arrows. They'll go right through bone. Or is that what you want when you're hunting? Bone-shattering arrows.
I don't even know if they have bone-shattering arrows. This guy was up on some next-level shit.
Let's get some bone-shattering arrows for the next episode.
I'm down. I actually have.
Yeah, we should do like a field test. We'll get some bone-shattering arrows, buy some bones, set it up in a field.
I have bone-shattering arrows, actually, if there are.
Make some bone broth.
My bone
I have bones.
Well, let's use your bones. You mind testing out a 80-pound per square inch rifle shot on your front of your shin? You know what I mean? Just the front. Of the
you should bring your bow to my house, and we'll go do it in the backyard.
We should try to hit each other while we're running. We should be like I'm Achilles this time, and you try to aim and take out my Achilles tendon.
Oh yeah. I like that better. I mean, you have bones too. Why don't I just test on your bones?
We'll be a game. We'll each get a chance to try to shoot each other in the ankle as the other one runs away. You can join me if you want, Ryan. Yeah. We hope no one gets hurt despite us shooting bows and arrows at each other. It's just a test, really.
Please try it at home so that we don't have to try it here on the air.
That's right.
Yes, let us know.
If there's any children watching this, I would like you to please play with bows and arrows. If we don't give our children bows and arrows to play with, then they're going to play with guns.
Let them relax with a few cigarettes in between shots. You know?
Or else they're going to try cigars. It's all about loss prevention.
Well, they say it's good for aim if you smoke a cigarette to calm your nerves. So probably get your kid a pack of cigarettes if you want him to shoot safely. That's what I would say. They recommend half a cigarette between every 5 bow and arrow shots for kids under 10. They do. They really do. Yeah, Huffington Post. I don't like to credit them for too many health reports, but that was one of their top health reports from one of their top health.
It's okay. Their regime has been toppled, so
it's true. Yeah. No one's listening to them. We're the only one giving them. We should stop that. We haven't talked about Huffington Post at all.
Refugees from the Huffington Post as interns.
Fleeing. Yeah, they're
well,
fleeing.
We've got a real thick hog of an episode already, so if you guys want to go into snake facts, we could totally do that.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, we could call Yarbo. We could do the new segment I was talking about called Dreamcast Saga, where one of us tells the other about a dream and then we analyze it for them.
Does anyone have a dream? That was such a sad question. Does anyone have a dream? I have one, but I already know the meaning, so I don't want to be a dick and be like, here's this dream, tell me what it's about, when I already pretty much know what it's about. But if you guys have a dream.
Well, this is satire, so the you know...
I had no idea.
The interpretation is going to be pretty wacky.
Okay, so we're going goofy with it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we can split the difference. You know, we're serious and a funny show. You know, a little something for everyone, the whole family.
Right. A little bit of dark comedy. I'd say we're pretty dark comedy.
A little bit.
Only thing that cheers us up is only way I get through the day is with a couple shots of banana vodka. Sorry, I have to plug them at least a few times every episode. But
well, let's.
I have snake facts here, though.
Let's just do snake facts. We got. Yeah.
One of us has to encourage ourselves to do some pre-sleep, like I'm going to dream. That shit works. But I got.
Yeah, totally.
You guys ready for snake fact? All right, so this is snake fact. Snake fact. Let me see. 40. We're on snake fact 40. The longest snake ever recorded is the reticulated python. It can reach over 33 feet long, which is big enough to swallow a pig, a deer, or even a person. So you guys, this snake has swallowed people before, I assume. Otherwise, they wouldn't just go ahead and say that willy-nilly. Now I'm gonna look up if everyone's ever been actually eaten by a reticulated python.
Sure.
I bet it couldn't get swallowed by a fuck pig because it would get like cut in half by his dick.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we should stage that fight and charge Zoom admission to watch Fuck Pig versus Reticulated Python.
There's a snake fact for you, kids.
Okay, so now we have to ask, are reticulated pythons tight? You think these specific snakes are tight? I think it's pretty tight that they're that badass. So I'd say yes, reticulated pythons are tight.
I think if they can fit a whole deer, then technically they're pretty loose. But I think that's tight.
True. It's tight how loose they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. What do you think, Ryan? What do you think about this reticulated python? Tight or not?
Yeah, pretty cool. I like the cut of his jib. Yeah, I do. I said it. You want to fucking fight about it?
I mean,
No snake.
I don't love the cut of his jib, to be honest with you, Ryan.
Wise guy, eh?
Well, I'm
right.
not trying to. No disrespect meant. I just feel like his jib could use fewer cuts. You know?
Can I add in some extra controversy to this? I got this sassy little article talking about snakes versus humans.
Ooh, yeah, lay it on me.
All right. Python swallows woman whole. What experts say about the rare attack. They're saying this. They're getting all socio-ecological. Development in their native habitat might be influencing their behavior, but humans have a history of conflict with snakes, right? That's why we got to do the snake bowl thing. Set the record straight. Now it's trying to show me an ad right as I'm getting into it. Come on.
I noticed. I just realized that nobody pointed out the chains up hissing contest.
That's true.
I love that.
Oh, what movie we're gonna watch next week? While I pull up this saucy news article.
Ryan, you haven't recommended one in a while.
Actually, this movie reminded me of another movie that I thought we should watch. I vote Evil Dead 2.
Ooh.
I'm down.
Yeah.
All right. Evil Dead 2 next week. For now, we got on Snake Facts. We're following up on the reticulated python, you guys, which can be 33 feet long, can swallow a deer, a pig, or even a human. And we got this sassy article right here. Humans have a history of conflict with snakes, and the reported killing of a woman in Indonesia by a large snake has raised questions about how human development is impacting both people and serpents. Call them serpents, how disrespectful. 54-year-old Watiba was checking on her home vegetable garden when she was believed to have been attacked by a 23-foot reticulated python. Local news reports say a search effort was launched when Tiba didn't return home. The snake was reportedly... These fucking ads, you guys. Do I have to buy a program? Anyways, I guess she got eaten by a 23-foot python when she went to go take care of her garden. Someone noticed she was gone. And there was an effort to find her when locals from Tiba's town killed a snake and sliced it open. The woman was found dead, fully intact and swallowed whole. Video of the deadly encounter has been making the rounds online. This incident comes just after a 25-year-old man was swallowed whole by a reticulated python, also in Indonesia. So over in Indonesia, there's all kinds of like serious snake versus human beef. So I could see how, if I was a parent and my kids were going out for the day, I'd say, if you see a reticulated python, you better run, boy. That would
What
be
does
my
reticulated mean?
That's a good question. Something scientific. Reticulated, I imagine it means it can itself upright. I'll look it
We
up.
should have a watch party where we watch like animal attack footage.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Snake attack? Yeah. Snake attacks. But that's crazy. So I guess I guess they wouldn't be eating people if people weren't in their environment. You can't really blame the snake, but I could see how this might make people think snakes are a little less. Personally, I think it makes them more tight, but if someone I knew had gotten eaten by a reticulated python, I'd probably be like, snakes ain't tight.
I bet
I'd
most
be mad at
animals
snakes.
that eat people are regret having done so. I bet we don't taste very good.
Yeah, probably tastes like barbecue sauce and cigarettes and banana vodka.
Oh my god, yeah, and like McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah. It takes a while for. I don't think they even taste it though, because they just swallow us whole. It says there's no eating involved in either of these humans when they, opened it up. They were just the way they were when they went in, pretty much.
Then where does the joy come from?
There is no joy. It's just like Tom Brady winning more Super Bowls. You just do it because it's all you know.
Can you imagine like taking the time to like, put a nice thick patty of meat like on the grill and like letting it come to like a nice even temperature and like getting that Maillard reaction, that nice browning, and you flip it over and it's like starting to get nice and like medium rare in the middle, and you like slap it on a bun with some cheese and tomatoes and onions and pickles, and then you just swallow the whole thing whole.
What a waste.
Snake burger?
It must suck to be a snake. There's no joy in
burger.
eating. There's no flavor. There's no chewing. There's
true.
no mouthfeel. You just like.
Well, it's because they're the devil, and God said, you tricked Eve with that apple. Now you can't taste an apple at all. How you like that? How'd you like I made it all Christian there? But yeah, snakes. Oh, I looked up a fact about the reticulated python. This makes it even more terrible. Something called chemosensation, where it can sense the chemicals in an area and know an animal has been there. So it literally senses paths. And the reticulated python will like set up an ambush spot by being like, oh, I see this fox walks through this path quite often. So wear plastic bags on your shoes, basically, is what I'm saying. If you want to stay out of the way of the reticulated snake, you can't leave any trace behind anywhere you go, because it'll smell what you left behind. That's creepy, right? It's not just 33 feet. It stakes out spots.
Yeah,
this is making
like
me
the
think
predator.
Snakes are a little less tight. Just kidding. Tighter right. Still.
I think serpent is a pretty tight term for a snake.
It is. I was saying disrespectful, but that's only because in the Bible they refer to it as serpent, and I'm slightly Christian and weird. Awkward.
Well, that's okay.
No, I know.
Well, that's okay.
Awkward. There's nothing awkward about being Christian. It's the most normal thing ever. Walk on water and turn fish into wine. I don't think it's
snake facts.
Snake facts. That was a good snake fact.
Good job.
Yeah, it was.
So it turns out humans do get eaten by these snakes. I should look up. Maybe next time I'll find out how many people have been eaten by. I'm gonna find that out. How many people have been eaten by snakes? See if we can tie in. We're adding an addendum snake facts for each snake fact. So we really just did snake fact 40, but we added like 5 snake facts on there. How about that?
You're welcome.
How about that, viewers?
You're welcome, audience.
That's right. Not watching audience. I looked at our reviews and it says average watch time 20 seconds. That was embarrassing. I didn't like seeing that.
That's okay. Someday we'll be like crippled and like in hospital and like, just looking through videos and shit from the past. And
we'll be like, we didn't know how good it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so 17 people have died by being eaten by snake.
This year?
Including since 1978, 17.
Really? That sounds very low.
Yeah, that's not very many at all.
It's probably underreported.
2 of them weren't even really from snake attacks. They were from a heart attack during the snake attack. And the other one died of a salmonella infection after her struggle with it. That's just confusing. I don't know. You already had salmonella, then you got in a fight with a snake, and it was just too much.
Luck. Bad luck.
Don't try to fight snakes when you're high on salmonella. I'll tell you that much.
This episode dedicated to all the victims of snakes /
17 / heart attacks.
/ heart attacks. Yeah, we don't want to. I don't want letters from the goddamn heart attack people saying like, we want more visibility.
Leave heart attacks alone.
That's right.
Why are you giving heart attacks such a hard time?
There's nothing funny about heart attacks, people.
That's right.
They're serious as a heart attack.
Do you think the reticulated python caused the heart attack, or the guy was and then the reticulated python got involved? He was just really mean.
If I was being swallowed by a snake,
heart attack.
If I was being swallowed whole by a snake, I would probably have a heart attack too.
Yeah, they don't say if he died because of the heart attack or from the snake attack. Maybe he lost control of his breath and his blood. Lost control of his breath and his blood flow at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
reticulated python. So we've covered Welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group, Stay in the Loop, You Snoop, Boop, Boop, Boop. This is episode 16.
16!
What are we watching next week
Boop,
again?
boop, boop. We're watching Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2. All right, so you guys ready to call it a wrap? I am.
Yeah, let's put this horse to bed.
Good sesh,
Thank
guys.
you for watching episode 16, Western Mass Comedy Group, Stay in the Loop, Snoop, Boop, Boop, Boop.
Boop.
There's my creepy long reticulated
Boop.
pointer finger. All right, that was fun, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to my brother Max Pryor for watching. Thanks for Banana Vodka Coin and Banana Vodka for keeping.
And don't forget to vote. Our snake's tight.
Our snake's tight.